Good morning, everyone. If you can hear my voice, we are inside the June Keys penguin habitat. We just got done feeding our Magellanic penguins. They got a combination of restaurant quality sustainable herring and capelin. These guys get fed 2 to 3 times a day. So this was their first feed of the day. Everybody ate except one bird. We do actually record all the fish that they eat and keep track of them. The end of breeding season for our birds, so they're kind of spending a lot more time on land. They feel nice and comfortable on land. And then they're going to get ready to go through a yearly molt. These birds go through, well, all penguins go through a catastrophic molt where they replace their feathers once a year. So if you take a look at Dee up here on deck, she has juvenile or subadult plumage. There are 2 other birds in here, Wally and Cleo, that have that subadult or juvenile plumage. Oops. But penguins' feathers, that structure that they have, actually keeps them dry in the water. But because I guess Lily was full, but because they spend a lot of time in the water, their feathers get worn and they naturally replace them. So what they're getting ready to do is go through this their yearly catastrophic molt. So we're noticing that our birds are starting to eat more fish than they would typically eat. And in about 2 months, maybe a month, our birds are going to start going through that molt from youngest to oldest. We have 9 holes or burrows on exhibit. They are nests for our penguins. Little Miss Paddles here is being nosy and checking out her mom, Patsy, and Robbie's burrow. We have had 13 chicks hatch here at the Aquarium of the Pacific. They only have a breeding season once a year. Things might get a little dramatic out here right now, which is kind of fun to watch. So Floyd just jumped up on his rock. His burrow is the one that's closest to the water's edge. The bird that's closest to him, Ludwig, is checking out his burrow. But he is paired with Paddles, who's checking out Robbie and Patsy's burrow. Here comes Floyd's mate, Roxy. They've actually had 7 out of the 13 chicks that have hatched here at the aquarium. We also have Avery on deck. Avery is one of the 4 birds that was rescued from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It's a little far north from where you typically find these birds. But now there is a breeding colony that's north of Brazil. And if you take a look at the mural with the penguin statues, that is what their natural habitat looks like. We do have 23 birds in this habitat. Our oldest bird is Whatever. She's 17 years old. She's right up here. She can be quite picky with her fish. She's already had a couple of fish today, but we'll see if she's interested. Nope. She is not interested in any more fish, but Mr. Gatz here is. Good morning, everyone. If you're just joining us, welcome to the June Keys Penguin Habitat. We finished up our first feed of the day for our Magellanic penguins, and we're just spending some time observing the birds. It's the best way to kind of take care of them, I would say, is kind of learn the animals that you work with, learn their behavior, what's normal. So when they're not exhibiting that normal behavior or something's different, you can make an observation, or in our case, let the vet staff know. We're the first line of defense. I work with these birds 5 days a week, so I know them very well. They know me very well as well. We're finishing up breeding season for our birds, so they're spending a little bit more time on land than they typically would. The birds that are in the water are taking care of their feathers. They spend about 3 hours a day preening their feathers. Penguin feathers are very interesting. The structure itself is what keeps them dry in the water. But throughout the year, their feathers get worn and they have to go through this yearly catastrophic molt where they replace them all. So there are 3 birds, one's hanging out up here, that have juvenile or subadult plumage, meaning they haven't gone through that yearly catastrophic molt quite yet. Our birds range in age from 17 to 1. They can live to be about 25 to 30 in a protected environment and about 10 to 15 in their natural habitat. They are a prey species, so they're very susceptible to different predators, but that makes them very aware of their surroundings. If you're just joining us, welcome to the June Keys Penguin Habitat. We finished up a feed for our birds, but this is the time of year where they're spending a lot more time on land. They are full of fish and ready to take a nap. The 9 holes that you see behind me, those are all their burrows or nests. They can occupy those year-round. Magellanic penguins, like the ones you see in front of you, have a breeding season once a year, but they're really big migrators. They migrate about 1,000 to 3,000 miles a year. It's the time of year, though, where they're kind of on land. They're finishing up a breeding season, getting ready to bulk up. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. We are a nonprofit institution, so your paid admission is going right back to these birds, whether it's to help take care of them, feed them, or just educate people about the importance of ocean conservation. So thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your day here at the Aquarium of the Pacific.